When teams across the country need custom apparel that looks sharp, feels great, and shows off team pride, they call Hatch and Custom Community. From scholastic programs to collegiate athletics, and even local businesses wanting branded apparel that actually gets noticed, Michael and his team deliver quality, creativity, and service that goes full tilt. See what I did there? So if they're helping winning teams stand out, why not yours? For custom apparel with championship-level results, go to customcommunity.com. This is the Full Tilt Podcast with Hatch.
St. John's.
Hey.
The St. John's,
Down.
that is. This is actually my first three-person podcast
Let's go.
I've ever done. Multiple, yeah.
We'll see where it goes.
Oh, it's
Could
going to be great.
Epic disaster, you don't know.
No, not at all. You kidding me? I got literally the power couple of wrestling sitting here right now.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about power couple. That seems a little extreme.
Yeah, I don't know. We got, for those of you that don't know, we're talking about, we got Alli St. John and Derek St. John, two not only just wonderful people, by the way, but also two extremely accomplished wrestlers, and now the associate head coach and the head women's coach here at Iowa State. Yeah. Pretty crazy. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome to the
Thanks
show.
for having us.
Yeah. So this, okay. So even if it's not, just go ahead and brag to me being the first one to interview the two of you together.
Yep.
Okay.
First.
There we go.
First and hopefully last. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. Like I said, I'm sure that other people are going to want to do this, but it's such a cool dynamic though that the two of you have. I mean, as far as, obviously, husband and wife, but again, very, very, very accomplished wrestlers, competitively. And then now, leading the charge here at Iowa State, it's pretty crazy. And both with some Iowa ties a little bit too. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. So, but we'll go ahead and start diving into it. And just if the, we got a couple times state champ, Derek St. John, 4-time All-American, Division I, College I, Division I national champ, Hall of Fame member here recently.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
The Glen brand, I believe it was. I don't know. There's so many of them. I believe it was the Glen brand. Yes.
Yeah.
That was probably going on 3 weeks ago now. But yeah. It was a great experience. Had a lot of support up in there, so it was pretty neat.
That's awesome. Congratulations also,
Thank
by the way. And also new and current associate head coach.
Yes.
Got a little bump up there when Metcalf got in.
Yep. Kind of just worked out perfect. Way for both of us kind of bump up and continue, and then it's just kind of panned out the right way, especially with Brent and I, since we have a great relationship. It couldn't have ended in a better way. So
yeah. Well, like I said, I'm pretty excited about the things happening, and that's gonna be. You guys got a lot of things happening here at Iowa State. It's pretty great. I mean, a lot of really, really great stuff.
Yep.
So, but sitting next to you, obviously, Alli St. John, someone known as Alli Reagan, back in the day, very, very accomplished wrestler as well. Couple-time national champ at King. That's Tennessee.
Oh, yeah. Bristol.
I know. Boy, King College, and 4-time finalist, 2-time junior world bronze medalist, 2-time senior world silver medalist, 6-time senior world member. Also, Glen brand Hall of Fame inductee, and the new inaugural Iowa State women's head coach.
Yep.
How exciting is that?
Oh, it's been awesome. Just the amount of support we've had, and people are so excited, just like we are. Just to give these women the opportunity to be able to compete somewhere like Iowa State is huge. I can't even imagine coming here and wrestling back when I was looking for a university, so it's awesome. Yeah.
I mean, so that you guys talk about that when, but obviously when Derek came and and started working here, and obviously you came with. Was there any thoughts whatsoever about a women's program?
No, I never even thought this was like an option.
Really?
Yeah, no. So, I mean, obviously that would have been awesome, but just never even thought it was a realistic thing to happen. Got plenty of offers to move, obviously, once I was done competing and take other positions. But obviously with him being here and in such a great role, and I love Ames. It's a great place to raise a family. So I this just could have happened in a perfect place, perfect time for us. So it worked out perfect.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sometimes you just get lucky a little bit.
Yeah.
For real.
I mean, so the Iowa State women's program, and like I said, we'll do the bulk of the interview here at the beginning with you, Alli, because I know you got to get going.
Mm-hmm.
You're the she's fundraising machine, from what I understand, Derek. I mean, that's
What was the first role?
That was
director of
Donor
relations
Yeah.
and AKA director of event management also. So
Yeah.
had a-
Fundraising is what
Yeah.
I do.
And she did a great job, crushed that, and I think that's kind of what bound her into the position she's in. A lot of our administration probably took notice on that, and just kind of the dominoes fell where they fell. But I think
Yeah.
that was probably a big help for her landing in that position. So
Yeah, because I remember when I came here initially when I interviewed Kevin
Yeah.
for my podcast. We were in the wrestling room, and you guys were getting ready to wrestle, you and I, and you walked in with a bunch of donors and dressers like, "Have you met St. John's wife?" And I'd never met her before. I heard great things. He goes, "Dude, she's a rock star. She gets in there. She takes care of our donors and our alumni, and she is a rock star." He said she said she can still go, man. You should see her drill. I was like, dang, that's awesome. That's awesome. So when did the Iowa State women's program, when did that start like becoming like a thought and a thing?
Gosh, it all happened really, really quick. So once gymnastics dropped as a sport here, it was kind of like everything was up in there. I didn't even know if we really needed to add another sport. But then once our AD, Jamie Pollard, announced that, like, we will add another sport, it's like, okay, like, fingers crossed, I hope it's women's wrestling, obviously. But in the end, I guess it was between us and women's flag football because there's a big push with LA 2028 and the NFL. And like, offering a lot of money for us to start a program for flag football. So
Wow.
I'm just really lucky, obviously, that he picked women's wrestling, and it makes so much sense here. And in the state of Iowa, like, women's wrestling is booming. And obviously, you were at Fargo. You saw the numbers. It's like just like the men. Like, and the girls are so passionate and energetic about the sport. So it's awesome to see, and just the fact that we can have it here as a sport is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we mentioned Fargo.
Yeah.
I mean, the women's side, the girls' side is literally like, I don't know, I shouldn't say revamping Fargo, but for lack of a better word, it is. I mean, it had set days, when the guys were going, and freestyle and Greco, and then they had the girls, and it lasted like a day or so. Now it's like it's its own full blown thing, which is crazy because they're probably going to add Greco at some point in time.
Yeah.
And then that's just going to add more. So now they're having USA Wrestling's really having to kind of juggle as far as like, figuring out this whole schedule. Because I know I was just there, and I was there for like 10 days, and I was like, damn, man, I love wrestling and all, but come on now.
I feel for these club coaches a little bit. I had a couple buddies that coach club around here, and it's like, you were gone for how long?
Yeah.
You were in Fargo for like 14, 16 days? Like, and you're talking about adding women's Greco now? Like, oh, boy.
Yeah.
You're going to be in for it.
Well, your boy Carew.
Yeah.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because he's got like, very, very competitive people
All three
for
styles,
all
yep.
three, everything. And man, he's there. Him and his staff, Covington, all those guys there for forever.
And they do it right. I mean, they give all those kids the support they need and the coaching that they need. So it's good to see that, he sticks that whole thing out. But, man, that's a grind. Because you're on your feet all day long in those events. I mean, I've helped with the Team Iowa in the past and stuff.
Yeah.
That's a grind. Like, my hat's off to those guys. 16 days, 14 days, whatever it is, regardless. Like, that's crazy.
Some of the days, start at 8, like literally the wrestling starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it's not over until 9 o'clock at night. I take a look at that schedule because I've been in it forever, so I'm just like, man, I'm 53 years old. I've been going to Fargo for 25 years, man. I did not remember it being like this. Come on, guys, what are we doing? But that's the only way they can do it. But yeah, but you mentioned like the Fargo for the girl side.
Yeah.
I mean, man, oh man, how much better is the wrestling getting there, Alli?
Oh, the depth is unreal. So
Yeah.
like women, I feel like back when I competed, there was maybe like 3 really good girls, and then the rest kind of were all, no offense to everybody, but like there was 3 good girls at probably every weight, and then the rest were probably quick text, right? But now, like, these girls are, like, really, really good. Like, the level of wrestling on the women's side and men's side are both, like, these kids are dang good.
Yeah.
I mean, they're specializing in the sport of wrestling at a much younger age than I ever did, right? So it's like, I played 3 sports all throughout high school. I didn't actually start just wrestling till college. So it's like, these girls are doing it the same time as men specialize in the sport, or the boys do, from a really young age. And it's like, no wonder you guys are so good, right?
Yeah.
Like, the amount of time that you've already put into this sport by the time you're in high school is unreal. So
Yeah,
it's
you
pretty
were
awesome to
mentioning
see.
you mentioned when you were referencing when you started out in the sport. You're from Carbondale in Illinois. I was the Illinois girl, but you played multiple sports going through.
Yep, I played
know-
volleyball in the fall, wrestling in the winter, and then I played soccer in the spring.
Wow.
All through high school, yeah.
So it wasn't until you got to King that you really started like
Just
really
wrestling,
specializing.
yep.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
I was actually really, really close to playing soccer in college, but I ended
Oh,
up
no
going-
kidding.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite sport.
Wow.
Besides wrestling, obviously now.
You
but-
obviously watched the World Cup then.
Oh, yeah.
Derek, you soccer guy?
I'm not. I'm so clueless when it comes to soccer. It's unreal. Like, I know absolutely zero.
You and me both.
man.
I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
For some reason, the rules. Who simplified it for me the other day? It was they just said it. It was, and then I was like, oh, okay, I got to get it now. But I'm
Just put
still.
the ball in the
But
goal.
now I'm lost because
in the net,
the,
yeah.
the whole offside thing is the
Yeah.
one that's the one that's so
That'll get you.
confusing. It's so confusing. But so 3-sport athlete back in the day. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So, what was it like? I'm just curious navigating. The wrestling part of it through. I mean, this was before when it was really just
Yeah.
girls only. It was
Yep.
probably boys and girls combined, wasn't it, when you came through?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I barely wrestled any girls in high school. I
Wow.
wrestled all boys throughout high school. And it's changed so much because you see, like, you talk about the really good clubs. Like, I went to Perler. I was the only girl, obviously. So you're almost in a club. Nick did a great job, right? And including me. Most of all my coaches, but I've heard stories where that wasn't the case, where girls kind of weren't allowed at a time when it was just up and coming. But you almost felt like you had to prove yourself extra just to be in a room full of really good guy wrestlers, right? So it's like, I'm gonna work really hard, I promise. Like, of course, no one wants to be the partner with the girl,
Right.
So that's like one thing too. But so I just feel like you just had to do everything to prove that you belonged, right? But my dad was my coach growing up, so I think that really helped. I had an older brother, and then Zain Richards. He was my high school teammate and basically like another brother to me. So between him and my brother, they probably took me under their wings and definitely like showed me that, just made me a part of the team really. When it is weird to have a girl on the team.
Wow. So
Back in the day.
Zayn was one of your training partners
Yeah,
back then?
that's my guy,
Really?
for sure.
Dude, he was good.
Yeah,
he's like that dude was
he's
really
dog.
good.
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder he got so good.
Yep, really good high crotch.
Yeah. He was just good in everything, especially
Yes.
like freestyler. He
Yeah,
was-
and Greco. He's really good at
That's
Greco.
right, Greco. Yeah.
So he's still competing in Greco too. So
Wow. So when did you decide? Like I said, I mean, you thought you might play soccer, but
Yeah.
then so what was the final nail in the coffin when you went to King?
I just actually went on a visit and I really liked it. I was actually verbally, I committed to Oklahoma City University. They were like the bomb back in the day for women's wrestling. They won all nationals, all that stuff. And then I went on a visit and I didn't really, something was kind of off and I was like, I don't really like the fit or something was weird. And then I ended up going on a visit to King University and meeting Jason Moorman. Obviously, they were really kind of like how the situation that we're in here at Iowa State. Like, we're recruiting girls to a school that like has never had women's wrestling. So when I went there, they were just finishing their first year and they like got dead last at WCWA, which was all, for people that don't know what WCWA is, it's NAIA and NCAA schools all combined into one. So they didn't used to be split, but WCWA that was the college nationals for women back in the day, and it just used to be all one big. So they got dead last in WCWA nationals the year before, but he had recruited some really good girls. And I was like, okay, well, I really like the coach. This campus is beautiful, and I've got great training partners. So that's really all you need, right? And so it's kind of similar to what we're building here. It's like these girls are kind of taking a chance on me and the program here. But we're going to do great things. So I think that's ultimately why I ended up choosing King University.
Wow.
Yeah.
No kidding. Wow. So yeah, no, I remember Jason. I mean,
He's
Jason,
a
he's a good
man.
dude. Yeah. Yeah. Because when I first, I've been our Tennessee State chairman for,
Yep.
I don't even remember. I don't even know how long. I mean, it's the years just
I don't
keep-
wanna say.
No, I don't. I don't want to say because that just tells me that I think it's like 15 years, but it tells me that 15 years of stupidity. You know, I mean, it just kind of keeps reassuring that I'm not very intelligent. But when I first took over, Jason was obviously at King, and I got to know him through that, and he was always, basically in charge of our
Yep.
of our girls section. Really good guy. He did a fantastic
Yes, he
job at
did.
King. Just because King in Bristol is kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's not like it's not like it's really like culturally like in the middle of Wrestling
No,
Central.
definitely not.
So very difficult to it's a difficult sell. Can be a difficult sell.
For sure.
But he did a great job, and he was cranking out quite a few like
National
high
champs,
level.
yeah.
I mean,
On our team, it was great. Like we had me, Sarah Hildebrandt, Julia Slotta, Haley Agello, like so many killers.
wow, on the same team.
Yes.
Oh,
like,
geez.
The amount of, I don't know how many world and Olympic medals have come from that team, but it's crazy. We should do
Wow.
a number for that. But yeah, really good teams, and I had great teammates. We didn't really do anything crazy. We just grinded it out for us. We worked really, really hard. Our practices were pretty torturous, but we all got better.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yep.
All right, good. So explain that WCWA
Yep.
and how it was before and now how the current landscape is.
Yeah, so WCWA used to be all NCAA and NAIA teams as just one big division. And so once everything got much bigger, now it's just NAIA schools and then NCAA schools now are two different divisions. So we used to just all be one happy family, just grinding for like one national title for college women. So now it's obviously split, but.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. No. So okay. Yeah, that makes sense because I saw the WCWA and I thought I had a pretty good concept of what it was like.
Yep.
But yeah. So like I said, getting back to when you were coming through the high school with Zain and all those guys. Now, again, earning the kind of like almost earning the respect and earning the stripes of the guys. I mean, did that go in the competition side too? Because I'm assuming that you had to wrestle the guys in
All boys,
competition,
yep.
all boys, because there was no girls sanctioned sports yet, right?
Yep.
What was that like?
Yeah, it was kind of unknown. Like my freshman year, I qualified for boys state, and it was like,
oh wow,
it was like very unknown to do that. But I was lighter at the time, so I was like a 103, I want to say, my freshman year. And then once I got bigger, I think I finished high school at like 125 or something like that, and it was like I did not qualify for state because it was really hard. It was a big deal for me to qualify for state and boys. Back in the day, Illinois used to be two sanctions or two different classes, but now they switched it to three. I'm like, dang, I wish I would have been with the three classes because we would have fell into 2A instead of the big 2A back then.
Yeah.
But yeah, just to qualify for state was big for me. I did not win a match at state, and my bracket was like Tony Ramos. We had like one of the Dardanes brothers, Ellis Coleman. Someone had posted, my state bracket, and I was like, no wonder I didn't place or win a match. Yeah.
Pretty big names.
Yeah.
Was when you qualified at
Yes.
when was it?
I think it was 103 or 112. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, I need to ask one of the guys if they have theirs. I don't remember who won it, but I bet they still probably have their state bracket in their mom's basement or something that they could pull out. Someone had posted on Twitter back in the day, and I was like, oh, wow, that makes sense.
Yeah. Holy cow. I mean, that's some big names out there.
Yes.
You ever talk to Tony about wrestling in the same bracket as
Actually, I never have.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm so clueless about a lot of that stuff, so it's like I'm absorbing a lot. Like when she talked about the WCWA or whatever it was, like I have no clue. I'm so clueless about women's wrestling, and since this has really become a thing, I've actually really forced myself to start paying attention more and like actually learning because obviously it's important now.
Yeah.
So not that it wasn't before, but like it really started to like open my eyes to things. So a lot of this stuff I'm so clueless.
So I gotta ask. I'm gonna ask. While we got you here, I mean, we got you here for another 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But so, how did you two meet? I'm just curious on this.
Oh gosh,
we'll get into Derek's
special
career.
shout out to Tatum and Skylar. Skylar's his brother, and Tatum's one of my best friends. So they hooked us up. Yep, and the rest is history, kind of. So
Really?
matchmakers.
Now, this is when when you guys were
my
COVID.
last during like right at the start of COVID, and then I was just about to leave Iowa HWC to go. Coach Perry got the job at Sunkist, and so all of us girls were going out with him to ASU. So we kind of just met, and COVID like pumped the brakes a little bit for me moving, and then we were long distance for a year, my last year of competing. And then from there, I just moved back. I was done competing after 2021, and moved back here. And been here ever since.
No kidding.
So, yeah.
So you when you were in Iowa City then?
Yep.
You met. So now were you in Iowa City? You were in Iowa City?
No, I was here.
You were here. Okay.
I was
okay.
here,
Okay.
but
Okay.
it
Gotcha.
was, it was in that weird time frame where COVID, like, you had nothing to do.
nothing.
You couldn't train your guys. You couldn't do anything. Everything was locked down. So I'd go back over to Iowa City here and there, North Liberty, because that's where my brother lives. So I'd go hang out, and Dylan, and all those guys, all my buddies were still living in the area. So I'd go hang out with them for a weekend or a couple days here and there. And just one night, went over to hang out with my brother and stuff. And I don't even know how it ended up happening, but we ended up in the same house, same party or whatever. So, and then here we are.
Here we are.
So,
Here we are. Married and Ames and both coaching wrestling, and it's kind of wild.
It's wild.
I thought for sure you guys were going to tell me that Dylan Crew set you up.
Well, he was probably a part of that. I mean, you were training.
We trained at Big Game during that time
during
too.
that time frame. So
So it kind of all worked out.
Yeah.
So he was never really a part of any of my career or anything till like the very last year. So he was never that involved in the women's wrestling or anything like that until my last year competing. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because you and Dylan known for each other forever. Yeah, high school teammates.
Yeah, high school teammates. We went to Pablo's together.
Oh, that's okay.
That's kind of where it all started. I don't know. I would have been in like 4th or 5th grade or something, and they invited me to go over to one of Pablo's workouts, and then that's kind of how the friendship started. We started doing all the dual teams and stuff together, and then obviously ended up on the same high school teams and stuff. So
Yep. Yeah, Curry's he's the best. I tell you what, he's killing it. Big game.
Yeah.
Billy, they got a crazy good club.
The numbers they have are unbelievable from the youth all the way up. I mean, I'd hate to know how many kids he actually has. I bet it's well over 100.
Oh yeah,
it's impressive.
Yeah.
So
and the amount of high level
job.
kids that he has there. I mean, his staff. I tell you what, they crank it out like big time.
Yeah, he gets a tremendous amount of help. You know, my brother helps out, and Cove and all those guys. Like, there's a lot of support in that community and for that family and that club. So they've done a great job.
Yeah, no, he's done impressive things on the girls' side too.
Yeah,
he's got a ton of like really really high level girls.
One champ and a bunch of placers. Like the girls did really good too. Yeah, Fargo.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that's going to be a
I've
club
got
you
2
tap
of his
into
girls
right
in the
there.
team now, so sending them my way. Keep sending them, Dylan.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, like I see him. He's obviously we're all in the P&L together.
Yep,
so
for sure.
And you see that club at everything. You know, so that's just kind of interesting. I was just thinking about that on the girls' side, the amount of like high level clubs that are really getting into the girls' side now is pretty impressive as well. I mean, do you think that attributes a lot to the, I guess, the rise of talent and the rise of development on the girls' side?
Yeah, definitely. I think you see a lot of them, like a lot of good women's wrestlers have brothers too. So maybe that's how they started wrestling.
Yeah.
That's what I see a lot of times. And so whether their brother wrestled before and they kind of got into it just because women's wrestling started booming, or however they got into it, they kind of just end up going to the same club and doing it that way too. So it's awesome to see.
Yeah, because I mean, I know, like I said, in our P&L, for sure. I mean, like I said, we have, obviously a lot of the really, really high level clubs there, and the girls' side of their programs is getting more robust. There are more girls that are coming out, and obviously when you get people like the Askrens and Izzy and Dylan, those guys coaching girls, it's good.
Those girls are going to accelerate really quick, so it's only going to get more attention and more traction, I feel like. So we'll see where this Division I thing ends up for the women, but like I can only just see more places, especially in the Midwest. Like it kind of makes sense. Like Iowa State adding, and who knows where it'll go, but with all the attention and the traction here, it's just like you hope they keep adding them, because it's going to help men's wrestling and hopefully save men's wrestling, because we're kind of hurting a little bit here. So this whole Olympic sports thing and football and basketball are really taking over as they should, because they support a lot of those other programs. But hopefully the growth with the women's will really help save men's wrestling too.
Yeah. Is there any talk about like any other Division I programs that are starting things up there now?
Not that I've heard. I know Columbia just started after us too.
That's right.
So Emma started that program there. She's
who's the head coach there now?
Emma Randall.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She used to be a coach for Team USA. She was the assistant national team coach. She's awesome.
Yeah.
So she'll do a great job out there, and she has great support too. So she's been their club coach at Columbia and the New York City RTC out there for a long time. So she'll do great.
Wow. I mean, we have a common friend that on the Division I side, Kenya Sloan.
Oh yeah, Kenya's awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. We went to Pan Ams together over in Brazil. What was it, 2 weeks ago now?
Yeah.
And she did a great job. And she's going to definitely build something. Speaking of D1, a great program out of Delaware State. So
yeah. Speaking of podcasts, her and I used to do a podcast for
what you
Tennessee
said.
USA
That's
Wrestling.
awesome.
We did it for about a year.
Yeah.
She was kind of in transition. She's still living in Colorado Springs. That's how I kind of get to know her. Actually, I had her on. She was like one of the very first guests that I had on this Tennessee USA Wrestling podcast. One that I did over Zoom and all this other stuff. So I was like, man, that girl's really sharp after she won her national championship. And so then we were looking for someone on the girl side doing the podcast. So I reached out to Kenya. So her and I were doing. That's how we got to know each other so well. So, but we were talking at dinner the other night in Fargo, and she's like, "Man, Alli's just killing it." She goes, "They're getting everybody." She goes, "They even took Iowa's trainer."
Shout out to Lauren. Yeah.
Is that true? Is there any truth to that?
Yeah. She's starting in August.
Starting in August.
Yep. We're very excited to have her on staff.
That's awesome. She said she even got the trainer. But the thing is, though, with what you guys got going on, not only on the women's side now, but on the guys' side here, I mean, you guys got a tremendous amount of buzz going on around this program. I mean, you really do. I mean, you guys just had, obviously Brent getting bumped up, you getting bumped up. You brought in Ayala, brought in my boy Javier Maldonado. I mean, you guys got a lot going on in this program here. Yeah,
a lot of good buzz going on right now, and continuing to hopefully add some hammers here. But yeah, just with the coaching staff shifts and all that, I think gave us a ton of attention. And then obviously on her side and what she's doing, that's kind of the same, but kind of everything's fresh. So once that wears off, it's about time to roll up the sleeves and really go to work here. But it's been good, and you just hope that continues for the next couple of months here, and you ride that wave. But then you got to go prove yourself, like I said. But
yeah, for sure. Is it kind of your that's your perspective on the women's side too, Alli? As far as like, okay, we're starting to get all the pieces together. Let's just roll up, like Derek said, roll up the sleeves and get going.
Yeah, the recruiting and all that part. That's one thing, but it's like what I love to do is be in the wrestling room, right? So it's like that development piece thing is just like so fun to me, and that's what us coaches we sign up for, right? So it's like, I'll pick his brain about techniques and stuff all the time or what I should be doing. But then that recruiting part is a huge aspect. You got to get the right kids into your program and build that right culture. So that's going to be huge for us this next year. I hired Coach Cadle and Coach Wilkie. They're both great. I stole them from William Penn. And obviously Piper came along with you. You have a great relationship with Piper and the Fowler family. Yeah, they're awesome. So we've had some great additions just come with Coach Cadle and Coach Wilkie. So we're super excited about that. But like I said, the development piece is just kind of what we live for, and it's just what makes you be a coach in the first place. So
yeah, you mentioned the Fowlers. They're such awesome people.
Awesome.
It was funny because when you get hired, and I was like, man, I wonder what she's going to do for coaching staff, because I knew that those guys just were at throat. I was like, yep. All right, so I kind of paid attention as soon as you got Jake here, and I was like, all right. So that's when I was texting Mackenzie. Obviously, she's huge, she's our women's director in Tennessee, and I was like, is Piper going to be wearing? She's going to be wearing the cardinal and gold here anytime soon.
Keep it on the low.
And she's like, we're going to Ames this weekend. And I was like, I figured so. I said, good for you. I said, good for you. But they're awesome. I mean, Piper Fowler, you can't ask for a better kid.
No,
she's amazing.
She'll do whatever you tell her to do, and that's pretty rare sometimes these days. But
she's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah,
Boskin raised her right.
Yeah,
so.
Boskin does it. He does a fantastic job.
Oh yeah,
he really does. And it's just it's just a great family that she comes from to begin with. Just the Fowler family is amazing. Her brothers are awesome.
Yep.
Just great people. And like I said, Mackenzie, it's unfortunate that she's got such great kids that wrestle, because at some point in time we're going to lose her. So she's going to want to watch Piper or watch the boys wrestle, and we're just not going to have.
She hasn't yet. Once Piper was done.
Hey, come on, let's stop with that. Stop with that.
Sorry.
We need to keep get more and more years out of her.
Yep.
So no, that's awesome. But like, so we're really kind of speaking like on the girls' side. There's the folk style wrestling goes on just during their high school. That's really it. Other than that, it's all international. So obviously that's got to be like one of the game plans when you're recruiting those girls is that the ones that are really, really, passionate about the international side. Is that right?
Yep, 100%. Like the earlier you can start freestyle, the better. Just it's a different feel. It's kind of a different sport. Obviously, on neutral is the same, but like if you can get a feel for the different exposures and stuff like that, and whether you do 4-point throws or whatever, incorporating that, and obviously turns on top and not getting turned on bottom is huge. But the earlier you can start freestyle, the better. Obviously, if you don't, then you're kind of hurting yourself, especially what we look for in, right? The Fargos, the making the world teams, all that kind of stuff. It's like, that's very, very important for us.
Now, what was it? Because you were world silver in 16 and 17.
Yep.
What was your first world team that you made?
13.
13.
Yep.
Okay.
13, I was a senior in college.
Okay.
Yep.
And what was the transition like from the women's college, like the I guess the United States women's college scene, as compared to what the world scene was
Oh
like?
gosh, speaking of like doing freestyle, the earlier you can also go international, the better. Like talk about a different feel.
Right.
Those international girls, they're just gritty, they're mean. You obviously have differences in like the European style and then the Asian style. So obviously the Japanese girls are fast and quick, and if you take a bad shot, they're running corner and you're already taken down, right? So obviously great shots and quick finishes for them too. But like you get the European girls, like the Russian girls, they're mean. Ukrainians, they're mean. They're gonna
Really?
pull your hair. That's probably their setup. I've had that happen to me. Hair pulled to a single, and I'm like, dang, it just happened so fast. So be ready to fight those girls, right? So it's like the more you can go international, the better you'll be in the long run. If that's your goals, and obviously that's the girls that we're recruiting's goals. So hopefully getting our girls overseas as much as possible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dang, I didn't heard of that.
Oh yeah, hair pull sweep.
Hair pull sweep single.
I don't know nothing about the
Those
Russian
dresses,
girls.
we're mean.
Those Japanese girls, they're unbelievable.
They are.
Oh man, yeah. What makes their program so well? I mean, so good.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been at the top heat for.
Oh yeah,
golly,
they've won
for everything.
worlds and Olympics since the dawn of time. So
Yeah.
they're just very militant in everything that they do. So it's like a huge level of respect. Like their coach comes in the room. Like I've luckily been blessed to be able to go and train over there multiple times. So their training center is immaculate in Tokyo. But their coach walks in the room, they're all standing up and they all like bow as their coach walks by. And then just like they're soldiers. So everything that they say and they do is just like everything's quick, fast. Like they're just doing everything like excellent, right? So like their techniques are perfect, everything's beautiful, and then they just grind it out. So like we go over there, and I want to say we were there for like 3 days, and every single practice was like 6 minutes on match, 6 minutes off, like live for like 2-3 hours every single day, and like crazy cardio circuits after, and it's honestly remarkable. So like just that high level that they train in every day is what makes them really good, and everything's just like perfect and beautiful. Like when they do their executions, everything's just quick and like fast and perfect technique.
Wow.
So it's just like little robots, but it obviously it works really, really well.
Yeah, I guess so. It almost sounds like a like a karate dojo.
Yeah.
In a way. I mean,
It's
is that about right?
It's such a big thing over there too. Like martial arts is so big that's just it's perfect. It's a perfect example of that.
Now is I mean. Excuse me. Like culturally over there in Japan, I mean, are the wrestlers pretty well known? I mean, on the women's side? Really?
Yeah, like Icho and Yoshida, they were like the best, obviously women's wrestlers probably of all time. They're like famous there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yep.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, I tell you what. Well, on the men's side, their last Olympic cycle was freaking
phenomenal.
It was
Killers,
unbelievable.
That whole country's really got it going on in terms of freestyle wrestling right now. It's pretty impressive, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like what they did. I mean, just the Olympics that they had just this past
They
Olympic
have
Games.
guys just show up out of nowhere too. It feels like, especially in the middleweights.
Yeah.
Where in the hell did that guy come from?
I know.
Showing up in the Olympic final, like I've never even heard of this guy. What the hell? But, yeah.
Yeah. So on the men's side, from what you guys are recruiting, in the way that you got David, that's pretty accomplished here on the not only the high senior level but also at the international level. That's kind of what you guys recruit as well, guys that have aspirations to go up and above.
That's kind of the next step for our program is finding those kids that's super important too, to go on and win world or compete for world and Olympic titles. Whether they do or don't, you got to strive for those things. That's only going to help elevate your game. I believe, and in that summer wrestling, it helps when you get to go touch, guys that are making world teams, or you get to go to those training camps out in Colorado Springs. You get a strap up with like a Jordan Burroughs, for example, or whoever it may be. Like that's really important for kids in their development. Just getting those feels, being able to know that you belong and that you can train and compete and beat those kinds of wrestlers. So I think that all kind of goes hand in hand. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, it's cool the dynamic between the two programs here. That both are really, really. I mean, it seems like both the men's and women's programs here are really going to kind of work synonymous with each other and kind of side by side with each other and with the same type of goals moving forward.
Yeah, and it's just kind of fortunate because obviously we're married stuff. We're all like between me and Brent and Brent's wife, we're all like best friends. So it's like having that relationship really helps make things easy because it could just the way things work, like things could be really difficult between the two programs. There's just a lot of dynamics people don't realize that make things kind of difficult, and luckily, just since we get along so well, it makes those things real cohesive and real easy to be able to have the hard conversations sometimes. So it's been great so far. It'll continue to be great, but that and then adding them into our RTC too is an important piece. So our vision is, we're going to run those two programs side by side. Like we want to go to the U.S. Open, and we have the group of girls and the group of guys. That's our unit. That's our team. We're going to compete as the CRTC as a unit, right?
Wow.
Not just Alli's over here with her team and we're over here doing our thing. Obviously, you're going to be on different schedules and stuff a lot of times, but it's that's the vision. So
wow, that's a really not only cool vision, but that's a very unique vision as well.
I don't feel like obviously we're in kind of a unique position with just adding women's wrestling and being a Power 4 school that has both men's and women's wrestling, right? So you might see more of that in the future, but I think it's hopefully kind of setting an example for future programs too. So
yeah, absolutely. Because
important for women's wrestling and men's wrestling all together.
No, I totally agree. I mean, it's just I think working together and just really generally anything really is good. Was it like that at King now, or was the girls kind of separated?
We were separate for sure.
Really?
And then we had to share a facility, so I think that's a super unique part about here too. We'll have our own women's facility; they'll have their own men's. And in the summer, when we bring all the mats downstairs, like this afternoon, like the whole summer RTC practices, you just have a bunch of mats down on the lead floor, and we're all just grinding together. But during the school season, it's a little different because we're both probably want the same times. So to be able to have our own facilities and have that advantage is huge for us. And then, all ego aside, it's like, hey, if we're in the summer workouts and you're a good high crotcher, I know how to do it, but I wasn't definitely not as good as Brent Metcalf at it, right?
He had a pretty good high crotcher. He had a pretty good high crotcher. Yeah, it's not bad. It was decent.
You can dabble. But go grab him, girls. You know what I mean? Grab him and feel if he's got different things that he can add, please go. He had a great single leg. Girls
that's pretty good.
Grab him. Yeah. Grab him and learn some nuances about his single leg that I might have never taught you. Right. So I think that that's such a huge advantage for me to be able to send my girls and have them work with both. Chris Perry, he's good at everything pretty much. So just having him be able to he just jumped in last week and showed Piper just something on head and hands defense that it's just light bulbs. I didn't even cover that, right? I didn't even think to cover that. So it's that makes so much sense. Keep adding it, right? So I think that's just a huge advantage for me, for my girls too.
Absolutely.
So.
Yep. No doubt. That's funny. Yeah, and he had a good single leg. He had a good single leg.
It was all right.
Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It's funny because one of my really good buddies, he's really good buddies with Javi. I mean, his name's Dan Waddell. He just called me the other day and he's hey, your podcast is really good. Blah blah blah. I was like, whatever. And he's like, who you interviewing next? As I told him, I said, yeah, I'm Chael Sonnen, and I said, I'm sitting down with both, Alli and Derek St. John, and he was like, oh, St. John, because he wrestled for me at Chattanooga, right. And he was like, man, he goes, I wrestled that dude. I remember, he goes, he beat me. He said, but he didn't even beat me. He didn't even beat me that bad, by points, but he beat me so bad, just in the match. He said, that was the worst that I've ever been beaten, and I only got beat by 4 points, 5 points.
Gotta make it hell, even if you're not scoring a lot of points. It's about the only chance I had, so you had to make things real difficult.
And he was like a gritty. I mean, he was one of our grittier guys on our Chattanooga team. And I said, yeah. I said, hey, man, St. John, it was always just he was just gritty. He goes, that's exactly what it was. He goes, I thought I was gritty. He said, but after the match, he goes, I just hurt for a week.
That's funny.
So he's so soft spoken and everything. People wouldn't think that he, really hammers anybody. So yeah. But I don't know. Have you ever, when Alli gets out of line and she hit her that single leg in the house?
No, but he's foot swept me a couple times.
Yeah, I'm when she gets mouthy, but yeah.
I'm like, bro. Did not see that one coming. It's just because he's got length on it.
Is that it? That's so how's the household dynamic work with the two? Is there a lot of is there a lot of wrestling talk at the house?
No, I'll just even before it was how was practice? Blah, blah, blah. And I used it was great in my previous job being the director of donor relations. Yeah. Just giving people access. Like when I would talk to donors, they really just want access to see how the team's doing. And so I had that inside piece kind of.
That's true.
I'm like, well, this kid, he's struggling a little bit, or you know what I mean? It's just stuff like that. Or be ready to see him soon. He's getting really, really good. Just stuff like that where they're like, oh, they just love it, right?
Yeah.
And so having that piece definitely helped me. And then now it's just like, hey, this is the first time me being a head coach. So just asking him, and NCAA rules are crazy. Like I didn't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, hey, can I do this? And he's like, no. And I'm like, got it.
No.
You got to think about it. It's usually no.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, good thing I have you, because I wouldn't have known. And some of the stuff,
It's crazy.
some of the stuff is so stupid. And I'm like, we're paying kids, like football kids are making like millions of dollars, and I can't do X, Y, or Z. You know, it just doesn't make sense, but I don't make the rules. So I just got to follow them.
Yeah, home used to be the safe space where you get to walk in the door. You don't have to really talk about wrestling if you don't want to. Now you just can't escape it. So it's like, you don't have a choice. It's wrestling 24/7 all the time now. It seems like.
I bet. Because you've been in the coaching game for a while. But is this your first coaching job?
No, after I was done competing, I went and got my master's at Grandview, so I helped there. Yep.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. So you got some coaching
Yeah,
experience.
just a little taste.
Okay. Yeah, a little taste. Now you jumped into the Division
Head first.
One.
Right into the fire.
Division One Power 5. Yeah, there we go. Why not? Well, you got, like I said, you got a great resource at
Yes,
home.
for sure.
It's going to be crazy. That's nice because y'all have a son, Stevie.
Daughter.
A daughter. Okay.
Yep.
Well,
She's got a boy name, so.
Okay. Yeah. Bad boy name. But now wait till she starts wrestling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We're really. She's crazy too.
You're not even gonna. I mean, there's no way you're escaping it. It's like you're like literally gonna be.
She's mean.
And the
she's-
odds
really?
are too, which is unfortunate. It's like, God, go play volleyball or play
It
soccer
happened.
or something. We
It
can go
happened.
hang out in the sun for a little bit. And now the odds are
Maybe
you're
in
going to
the-
be a wrestler.
Yep,
But
in the gym all Sunday on our day off.
Yeah.
Bleachers.
Yeah. I mean, there's no way she's not gonna be a wrestler. There's no way.
You never know. But,
You never know.
Seems like everything's pointing that way.
Well, I know a pretty good women's program that's probably gonna beat her here in about. It's still
Hopefully
be
she's
around.
good enough to make the team.
Part of it.
But that's got to be pretty. I mean, that just throwing that, having a daughter at home and throwing that whole wrestling mix. Golly, what is your schedule look like? My goodness.
Luckily, his mom helps us a buttload.
Thank God
so
for my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So without her, I don't know what we would do. So wouldn't have been able to take this job. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're still figuring that part out.
Yeah.
There's still the, oh yeah, by the way, I got this, and this, and that. I'm like, oh yeah, well, that would have been nice to know about 3 days ago. We could have planned a little bit here, but no, it's good. I mean, our lives are gotten crazy busy. I thought I was busy before, and then you throw this layer, and then you throw a kid on top of it, man. It fills up your schedule pretty quick. So, no, but it's been good. Been all good, and luckily especially this time of year, a lot of our stuff's together. Like when we're doing these golf outings and our CRTC events, fundraisers, whatever, going to donor events, like we do all that stuff together. So luckily we have that luxury. But just in terms of workload and stuff, man, it's been a lot of juggling going on. So a lot of growing pains.
I tell you what, I was fortunate before that I got you guys pinned down for a podcast. Now I just know the dynamics. I'm very, very fortunate.
I asked you, I was like, are you sure? What days are you coming? We got to know.
Yeah. Schedules moving.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Fills up quick. Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like I'm just the opposite. I'm 53 years old, single with no kids.
Yeah.
So I like the flexibility of my schedule is just
Fly by the
like
seat of your pants,
yeah, I do whatever I want. And so but I've always got to put myself in check because I run a club. I've got a big club and we've got a lot of kids in there. Got parents that obviously that have schedules and they have whatever. And I'm just like, and then I'm like, oh, shoot, I might want to get some information out to them. But I don't know. We'll see. So it's one of those things that this is like one of the few things that I had scheduled for, I don't know, whatever, this last couple, 2-3 weeks that I've had to actually schedule. I got to be respectful.
For 10 years where you can just pick up and go, you have to think twice about it. And then you start getting married, you have kids, it's like, and then your wife starts having a big girl job. It's like, oh, shit. Get tied down a little bit quicker.
Yep.
Oh man! So on the women's side, I mean, is it still? Do you still participate in the fundraising stuff a little bit on the men's side too,
definitely.
You still a little bit of your job bleeds over.
Yep. No, for sure. I even in my previous role, I brought dresser into big donor meetings too. It's just part of it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, just like recruiting, they want to hear from the head coach. So it's like, that's like an extra touch. Right. And like, I love recruiting now that I've like gotten to do it more. It's like, hey, like I want you, and it may mean so much to hear from me more than whether it's Jake or not that they don't do it too.
Right.
Like we do a great job at doing it all together, but it means so much more when it comes from me personally. So being able to be involved in those donor events is still just as important.
Right. Well, it'd be different if you guys had somebody that was a little bit better at the CEO position, like
Right.
Kevin Dresser. If you had somebody a little bit better than that in the position, he's not very good at it.
Director.
He's not very good at stuff. He's so far behind in that.
Man, he's so good at it.
It's crazy.
He's so good at shaking and moving and
is.
making people feel good, making sure that everybody's touched. Like I'm like, man, I don't know how you did that. Plus you coach. Plus you had all the meetings all day long. It's like it's like the Energizer Bunny.
It is.
Yeah.
And he's done that. I mean, he was that way when we were at Tech.
Yeah.
So he's been living that life probably his entire life, really. But since I've known him, it's been like 13 years, 12 years. Like, that's how he's always been. So
Yeah, he's like the kind of guy that, and I'm not sure how much of this stuff you learned from him, but I have, and just indirectly more than anything.
Yeah.
He'll be the guy that just like, I'll just be whatever, doing my daily stuff, and all of a sudden Kevin Dresser's calling. What is it? Hey, what's up? What do you need? What do you need? Oh, they're calling, whatever, say hi, and we're just kind of just chatting about just general stuff, and that's good talking to Hatch. And I was like, yeah, thanks. All right, cool. He's so good at that. I mean, just out of the blue, he just calls people and just talks to them
in front of him, and, make you feel important, which goes a long ways with people. Like that's an important thing. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and his is really genuine too. That's the thing, because some people do that, and you can just tell. Okay, they're setting. It's some sort of long-term play. Whereas his is he really, I think, generally cares about hey man, what are you, how you doing, man? I was thinking about you today. What do you got going on? And
Yeah, he's
not
the
much.
bomb.
Yeah. So did you learn a lot from him on the fundraising side?
Yeah, the fundraising. I learned everything from him, and then even just like being pretty much like his assistant in my former role, just learning so much from just a wrestling perspective, and just having him here as just a shoulder anytime I need some guidance on anything is huge, and takes like a weight off, because who knows, you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, but like if something's going, whatever I need, questions or anything like that, he's just the office next door now. So just being able to pop over there and ask him and pick his brain on stuff has been huge.
Yeah. Now, do you still speaking of I guess people that may or may not have influenced your career. Obviously, Terry Steiner, you wrestled under him for however many years. I mean, is that a person you lean on too, especially from a coaching perspective?
Yeah, he's awesome. So much of what I learned, and just like he's so great at building relationships. I've always told people like he's coached like every person, and girls were crazy, right? So it's like he's coached like the easy ones and the very high maintenance ones and everyone in between. So the fact that he's been able to do that is he's one of a kind, I think. So once he ever decides to step away, it won't be the same without him. But I've learned so much from him, and just having him in my corner for so much of my life, whether it's competing or now, it's awesome.
Yeah. Now, were you one of the crazy ones?
I was probably pretty mild. I guess you should ask him, but definitely had some high maintenance teammates. So
yeah.
But, no.
Yeah, what he's done for women's wrestling is pretty
unreal.
Pretty wild. I mean, it's just incredible. He's been. I had Rich Bender in my podcast last week at Fargo when I was there, and we were talking about just the impact that Terry's had on women's wrestling. It's just, it's huge. Crazy. I remember when he first took the job, it was 15, 20 years ago. He's been there forever. Yep. And it was a big hire back then. As far as having a guy like that run the women's program.
Sure. I mean, his coaching tree will eventually be, I bet, pretty big. It's all said and
done.
Yeah. Especially in the next 3, 4, 5 years. That thing's it's gonna be insane.
Yeah, no, that's actually a great point, because those the amount of women's programs that are popping through and that are just keep coming up and keep adding. Hope. Yeah, that's fantastic. And like I said, you couldn't have a better person. He's such a good dude. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. But so now what's on the agenda for Iowa State women's wrestling moving forward?
I would say getting some of these top recruits. We have our roster set for next year. Mm-hmm. Next year we have about 16 girls in the roster, so everyone will redshirt, and then we'll just do all open tournaments next year. And then our big one will just be making that world team in April, so that U20, U23 world team trials will be big for us. So we won't have that like dual meet season as we would in the future, the following year. But then just this summer and stuff, still getting those good going to be seniors, the class of 2027 girls on campus, and getting them committed and signed. That's super important right now. And then obviously we're gearing up for Piper. She's going overseas August 14th. She's competing U20 World Team Trials. So she's, we're gearing up for that. So she moved beginning of May, probably like a month after we started the program, got done with school at William Penn, moved on over, and has been training ever since.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
Yeah, I'm actually. I think I'm going to go watch.
Yeah,
I'm over there. I'm
that'd
going
be
to be in
awesome.
Europe at the same time as we were on.
Might as well.
Yeah, we were on our Tennessee call, and I totally forgot that the Worlds were over there at that
Yep.
time. So when August comes, I shut down. That's it.
Yeah.
As soon as our state leaders meetings, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, whatever. I'm in South America. I'm in the Caribbean. I'm somewhere, and then
So
I'm
you
not.
choose Slovakia.
No, I'm going to go. No,
He's stopping in Europe.
no, I was going to Europe. Albania, Montenegro, one of my favorite DJs playing this beach party.
Right.
I was maybe Greece, maybe Istanbul. I'm still 2 weeks out. I haven't
Yeah.
figured it out yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'll figure it out soon.
Once we get there.
Pack a bag, you'll be all right.
And then we were on a call, and Mackenzie was talking about Slovakia, and I was like, oh wait. I was like, shoot, yeah, that's right. That's going. I'll be there too. I said, man, maybe I'll stop over there.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that'll be awesome.
Yeah, so it'd be great to watch Piper wrestle in
Yep.
Europe. That'd be pretty cool. So, but I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to see kind of what's happening here. With the program moving forward. So, yeah, but
a lot of moving parts right now. So
there sure is. Sure
Definitely.
is. I had to ask about your career. Again, what was the I guess what was when you started making all your world teams, and all that? Did you see a change like happening in women's wrestling towards the tail end of that? I mean, as compared to when you first started. I'm always been really really curious about the evolution of the wrestling.
I would say the depth was crazy. It just keeps getting better, obviously, but making those world teams, I made junior world team freshman, sophomore years, and then senior world team starting in 2013, and then graduated college in 2014, moved to the Olympic Training Center, lived there for 3 years, and then moved out to the HWC and trained there, and then before I went over to Sunkist. But yeah, just being able to have those resources, like I think that growth in college, just focusing on wrestling was huge for me. And then I learned so much being at the training center with Terry Steiner. So just being able to have those resources and everything that the training center provides is huge as well. So yeah, the growth is obviously been unreal. But then just the depth of, and how girls are just really, really good now. So, and I think that happens with, like you said, the clubs. So these girls are able to learn from people like Dylan Carew and learn from like the high level men's coaches. So they really quickly get good. So like we have a girl that we signed that's a big game girl this is only her third year wrestling, but she, you know what I mean? She's has so much growth to come in the sport, and her ceiling is so high. She's an athlete. She's mean. She's all the things that I look for in an athlete. She listens. She's coachable, all that stuff, and she has the goals and aspirations of what I did as a young girl. So it's like, and she only has 3 years under her belt. That's crazy how good she's going to get here. So that kind of stuff excites me, and you see that more and more too.
Wow, she's mean.
Yeah,
Always talking about me.
You're mean and feisty, and athletic.
How is Piper Fowler so good? She's such a nice. She's
Wait till
she mean.
Yeah, wait till you wrestle. She's not fun to wrestle. Trust me.
No?
I have to get in
Piper?
shape just to wrestle. Yeah.
Come on, she's like such a
No,
nice,
she's
nice
a very
kid.
nice girl. But I wish we need to get her a little meaner. That's for sure.
Well, you got. I guess you're a world champ. You got to be mean at some point in
You
time.
gotta
I
be
guess
mean, yeah.
she's got to be tough. Yeah, I
She's
can
tough
see that
for sure.
They're pulling hair.
She's used to
twisting fingers or
Yeah,
what?
she's used to probably getting beat up by her older brothers
Yeah,
and then
I
her
know.
twins. So it's like,
That's true.
yeah.
Yeah, very true. Now you mentioned the time at the training center.
Yeah.
It had to be different, like because it was one of the things that I've noticed about the training center is that, like, obviously, because of the RTCs,
Yeah.
a lot of the men's side they're not
Yeah.
there and living and training
Yep.
there for an extended period of time. Whereas yours is different. I think on the women's side, is it different to where you see it's more common for the girls to be out there at the training center year round?
Yep, I would say like they have an EAP program. So some like high schoolers, like one of our girls that committed, she's spending her senior year there, which is great to be able to develop under Coach Steiner, and then she'll come here in her freshman year. So to be able to have that extra year there, and I think the unique thing about the OTC is it's wrestling only, right? So your whole life is centered around there, which is a lot for people. But at the same time, that's what you need, that structure, and you need that guidance too, especially as a young kid too. So I got out of college and then moved there right away. And it's just like you go to your dorm, you go to the wrestling room, you go to the CAF and strength and conditioning, and you just keep doing that every day. So it's important to get off campus and be a real person sometimes, but you're like, you can be so locked into your sport there because everything is provided for you there. The resources are awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But so much different on the men's side. I mean, with it, because you guys got RTCs and you guys got whatever. I mean, they don't spend nearly as much time out there.
Doesn't seem like it, and then you have the gray shirting and all that stuff going on. So you're essentially just part of the RTC at a young age if you're going to do that gap year or whatever. So it probably doesn't incentivize kids to go to the OTC as much. I mean, we're kind of training all their athletes, so. When you get to go train with those kids every day versus see them twice a year or 3 times a year or 4 if you're lucky, the RTC route kind of makes a little more sense probably for a lot of those kids.
Yeah. Now your RTC here, does it? You guys do a pretty good job as far as attracting, I guess, the local high school talent here to the RTC?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we do a pretty decent job. We open it up quite a bit, our workouts to the kids that qualify and stuff. So we've had a lot of traction with that over the years, and I think it's benefited us pretty well on the recruiting side, and then obviously just touching the community, especially for the local kids, helping that growth too, which is an important piece. So kind of giving back a little bit too, and a lot of the times it's those same people that are donating and supporting. So that's a really important piece for the community too.
Right. Or
the area, local metro area, whatever you want to call it, Des Moines. A lot of those kids.
Now, what's been the reception so far here at amongst your donor and alumni base as far as adding the women's program, and then also from a fundraising perspective? They look like it's almost like they're given to a collective between the two, or is it working pretty well like that?
That's kind of the thought process behind it. Obviously, the women's wrestling right now has all the buzz, so I think that hasn't really been an issue for her. So I think that's only going to be a kick in the pants to us a little bit. But
this could cause trouble at the St. John household.
Well, these like I said, hard conversations, right? Like these are the parts, some of the things that people don't think about that you got to work through, and it's like
that's true.
The men's side of it's a lot more expensive than the women's side right now. Not to say it won't eventually be there, because it probably will, but it's tough. So, but right now she's crushing it. I mean, the women's wrestling has a ton of buzz, and it's going to help both sides eventually. So it's really good.
Yeah, I will say, no one's taken away from men. They've just only added their donations for the women, which is great.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's awesome for both sides too. And I think, for us being able to have that CRTC piece, because girls, just like the men, they want to stay at their university and compete for those World Olympic titles after they're done competing. So it's great to be able to have that opportunity and those resources to be able to keep them here and chase those dreams.
Yeah. That's a really cool thing to hear, is that the donors are not only like, no, we're not going to stop giving the men, but we want to give to the women's side also. That's awesome.
It's only helped increase, like you said. I mean, we want to do this for the women too, which is super exciting. And I mean, who knows where it's going to end up, but as long as it doesn't go the other way. Please, donor base, keep helping us. Keep building this thing.
Right. Now, we mentioned recruiting, and like I said, I know you got to roll out here pretty soon, Alli. So probably this might be, but I can see a lot of positives from both sides from a recruiting perspective. Just knowing that the two programs are working really in conjunction with each other. What have you guys seen so far from the recruiting end?
Yeah, I think that only helps. Like I mentioned earlier, being able to have a CRTC or an RTC that works together as well as we do in the CRTC. And being able to practice together in the summers, I think that's huge. And just from an outside looking in, it's just everyone gets along. Everyone is just working towards the same goal. David Carr is working with Piper. Yeah. They're both just working to be Olympic champions or world Olympic champions. So it's that means so much from a recruiting aspect that's possible here. So.
Kind of throws almost like a family dynamic into it too. Now more, I feel like more now than before.
For sure.
You got siblings, you have a boy and a girl, and
that want to come here. Yeah, a good brother and sister we're recruiting. So
we're going to bring the brother too on the visit or whatever. So
that's true.
You get a lot more of that lumped up. So if you got a stud family, I mean, it could only make things easier on the family and us
God,
recruiting.
you know what?
wise, so-
I never thought of that
Yeah,
because
definitely
you get a
helps.
lot of brother sister
Combo,
wrestlers
yeah.
now. I mean, like just off the top, Bazakis would be. I mean, the whole family wrestles.
Yep.
You know, I never even. Wow, I never thought of that dynamic to it.
One-stop shop for mom and dad.
That's it. Right there.
That's an easy selling point for a lot of
One
times.
T-shirt, yeah.
That's only one T-shirt, one set of airline tickets. Yeah, absolutely. I never thought of that.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it was ironic you mentioned that about David working with Piper.
Yeah.
That was when I talked to Mackenzie after Piper kind of got maybe she committed and got
Yep.
settled here. She's like she got in there and immediately. Like David Carr was working with her and,
Yep.
and some techniques, and I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
She goes,
he's
he
the
is such a great guy and a great guy. I
Yep.
said, I mean, I've met David just a few times, maybe in the sauna down here and that
Yep.
type of stuff. I said, but I don't know. I talked wrestling with his dad for almost 4
Yeah,
hours because I messed up our first interview
Yeah.
with the technical difficulties. So I had to come back and do it again, and I sat down with him even longer. I said, but if he ain't anything like Nate Carr, he is.
It's a walking history book.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I tell you what.
He remembers all that stuff and just his philosophy and all that, and you know, his one-liners. He's got some good stuff.
He's
Like, just,
awesome.
Just mental rep type stuff and like mentality stuff. And believe it or not, he's like you said, he's so soft-spoken, but like there's a killer in there. Like,
Oh,
yeah,
Nate.
like,
oh, golly.
watch some old videos, man. That guy was a savage.
Dude. Well, I talked to Kenny Monday. Him and I had a 2.5 hour podcast, and a lot of it, was there about him and Nate's rivalry.
Oh, yeah.
And he was the one that was saying, he was like, listen, he goes, I know Nate doesn't get nearly as much, notoriety. He said, but I'll tell you right now, he's one of the greats. He said he's a 3-time NCAA champ. He said he beat me twice in the finals. I mean, and he said he's just basically he's the Olympics, the Olympic bronze medalist, but he lost what's his name?
The Asian guy, right?
No, the Russian. What's his name? Vazayev.
Oh,
Yeah, and I mean that's really the only loss. I mean, he's one of the greats. I mean, and I tell you what a huge asset that he is for y'all's training center and the RTC. Just because, I mean, what a incredible human being. I mean, I didn't know him at all until the first time I met him was literally the day before. He was on the elliptical.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And the day before, and I said, hey, I'm my catcher. I'm going to be interviewed tomorrow here on my podcast. He's like, oh, hey, no, just nice to meet you.
Might look out there. He might be grinding.
He
right now. Who knows?
might be
That's
on there. And so him and I talked for it was a while. We talked for almost 2 hours the first time I did interviewed him. And then of course I think one of the cords stripped or something, and so I didn't do it again. I was like, could be worse things, having to talk to Nate Carr for another couple hours. So yeah, it was awesome. But he's got to be a huge asset for you guys from a recruiting perspective. Just having a guy like that.
Yes, for sure. Throws a different layer onto what maybe we all bring to the table. Like Nate Carr's style, especially like in wrestling, like that was its own beast. Like, there's very few people that could probably replicate what he did, but like he's got some phenomenal just pop stuff and the ducks, and he's got some different throws that like I didn't even know existed. Like
Yeah.
And then just like I said, the mentality side of it, like that's kind of where he really hits his stride anymore. I feel like he's got some really great stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A very, very deep thinker,
Yes.
very cerebral.
Yep.
I mean, and plus, obviously a guy that's very, very heavy in his faith, and
Yep.
and it's just he's just a complete package person.
For sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, David Carr though, he's got to be a great representative for y'all's.
Yeah, he's just a human exclamation point, probably. Just like happy, fun-loving guy.
Yeah.
He get along with anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's always got a smile on.
Yep.
Yeah.
Likes to come to work, and he'll work his butt off. But what I always appreciate about David is his willingness to jump in and help other people, like whenever. Like,
Yeah.
He'll just see somebody struggling, he'll just jump down there. It don't matter. He'll be in his street clothes. Jump right in. He'll sit there for 40 minutes trying to help the kid or girl or whoever. Like that's the part that's always kind of very selfless in that fact. Like. So
Yeah.
that's probably impressed me the most with him over the years.
Yeah. Yeah. No, probably a pretty easy kid to coach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His mat smarts are off the charts.
Yeah.
David's pretty unique in that standpoint, where he started wrestling pretty late on, and just to see where he's at, knowing what age he started, is actually kind of blows my mind. It's unbelievable. But
Yeah, well, he's got quite a still
the
got quite a
lineage
few.
helps,
Yeah. Plus, he's still young. He's got a lot of years in front of him. So he's got a lot of years in front of him. Yep. So, I'm going to get into your high school career. Now, Derek, you wrestled for, well, as a teammate of mine back in the day, and just, talk about a wrestling legend, Mark Ryland.
Yeah.
The late Mark Ryland. Rest in peace. He's a man.
Man, I don't even know where to start on Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, without Mark, let me say this, without Mark, I would not be sitting here today, for a fact. That guy selflessly helped me fundraise, hauled me all over the country. Maybe didn't show me the most wrestling moves or anything, but just the legwork that he did on exposing me to the wrestling world and hauling me all over, it gave me the opportunity to even have a chance to go on to the next level and wrestle in college. So without ever meeting Mark back in the day, there's just no way I would have been sitting here.
Yeah,
so.
he's had such a lasting impact on so many people.
Yeah,
he's just
well, him and just the Ryland family in general.
Yes.
When I was in high school, his I don't know if it's cousin, nephew, whatever it is, Luke was in the room all the time coaching and would wrestle a lot of the middle-sized guys like me. So Luke was around a lot, and just Marv being the AD at the time.
Yep.
Marv had a huge piece of that, and Marlis, and I know Michelle put a lot of time and energy and sweat into helping Mark in the backside of things too. So that just the Ryland family in general for me is forever indebted to. So
yeah. No, Mark, him and I, we were teammates for 1 year at Iowa, and I still remember one of the big things that, like I said, that always sticks with me. He always looked out for he would never guess this by just talk, because of the way that he just presented himself. Because he was always like, everybody would almost think of him as very, very standoffish, or just having this big ego.
He had the RBF.
Yeah, I think 100%. And but I remember, because I joined the team late. It was in the middle of Christmas. Where it was always, as you all know, at Christmas time at Iowa is not ho 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 Merry Christmas by all means. When you're training training 3 days a week, 3 times a day, and this was back when Mark was a senior. We had everyone was back lineup, so it was arguably like the greatest Iowa lineup ever. And so there was literally no technique. It was just all like brawling and scrapping and running stairs and everything. Yep. So I couldn't have joined at a worse time. It was awful. So I remember one day I overslept to get to this evening workout that we were running, and so I was like, oh shit. So I was staying over in my friend of mine's dorm, because that was the only thing that was open. It was over Mayflower. Yep. So I ran to Carver Hawk Arena to go and to run one of Gable's Carver Hawk Arena workouts, and I was a week into it. It was just stupid and miserable. So I was like 15-20 minutes late. Gable was pissed off at me. I was late. I was like, so I joined in, finished the workout. I didn't have any clothes. I had nothing to change into at all, nothing to shower. And so I asked Ryland, I said, hey man, can you take me home afterwards? He's like, yeah, I'll give you a ride home. No problem. And so not many people stood up to Gable, a whole lot. So Gable's like, Hatcher, are you gonna get a shower? I was like, I couldn't say anything. I didn't get a shower or whatever. He goes, you just gotta run. You're just sitting there and we gotta get out of here. We got out of the shower. And Ryland looks at him and goes, Gable said that guy ran here, for crying out loud. Leave him a fucking break. I'm taking him home afterwards. He ain't gonna close. And he's like, oh, all right, Ryland's got you? I go, yeah, Ryland's got me. So he's like, all right, okay, you're okay.
Big brother effect.
So I was like, thank you, Ryland, I appreciate that. He barely knew me for anybody. He didn't know, and that's Mark Ryland. Yep. That's what I remember him as. And
he'd give you the shirt off his back, that's for sure.
He would. But it'd be great experience wrestling for him, though, in high school, huh?
Yeah, like you said, you could never read the guy, but just the easiest going, most relaxed dude to ever wrestle for, to the point where it almost made me probably a little bit too relaxed, because that's my personality too. Yeah. But yeah, just in terms of how he presented himself and stuff, a lot of people thought he would kind of an ass or whatever. And it's like, no, he's the greatest guy ever.
Yeah.
I don't like the RBF maybe, but I don't know. It's just kind of his presence a little bit, but
yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. Do you hear all the old Iowa stories from back in the day every now and then? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Was it is it always pretty cool to hear? I mean, just like the way things were back when, just the wrestling in Iowa, period, whether it's high school and you guys, I mean, your high school team was freaking like legit.
Yeah,
That's when kind of like Mark's really his heydays.
Yeah.
And then of course your Iowa teams were really good.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, when I was in high school, I mean, we had 5 guys off my high school team that were.
Okay. Alli, thank you so much.
Thanks. Gotta go.
We're gonna get to Derek's side now. Thank you, Alli.
Now we can start trashing her.
Now we can start talking.
Can't stand up for her, so.
Yep, there you go. You can remember you got a free gift too.
Thank
you. You got it. Drink all your coffee and whatever. Okay. All right. Thanks, Alli.
But yeah, I ended up having, 4 other high school teammates that ended up committing and wrestling at Iowa also. So like we had some really good teams, and I think one year we had like 4 or 5 Fargo champs on the same high school team. Obviously, it was real condensed on the heavy hitters, but yeah, I think maybe my first 2 years we might have finished top 5-ish in the country of public schools. So like we had some really, really good teams, and probably helped that, Waverly about the same time. We were flip-flopping back and forth. I think we got them my first freshman and sophomore year, and then they got us my junior, senior year, and they ended up going on and setting the points record later on. It might have been my junior year or maybe my senior year.
Yeah, because those Waverly teams were freaking loaded too.
Oh, yeah. You throw the Ballwigs and the Kilsons and Eric Thompson and Rogge and all those guys. Like, I think they finished right up in the same ballpark.
Yeah, because
they couldn't have been too far behind those first couple of years. Yeah. Caldwell.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was Caldwell's team.
Rick was the coach back then, and then we basically just flip flop. I mean, we were still up in the hunt. We were probably top 10-ish, and then they were bumped up like 3, 4, 5 somewhere in the country. Like those 2 teams were really good. Just flip flop back and forth. My first 2 years versus my last 2 years. So. Yeah, we had some really great teams.
Yeah.
Good rivalries there between those 2 schools. But
heck yeah. What was that? So back then, that time, because like those are always like my Iowa guests. Like obviously Schwab and Ironside and all these guys. I mean, just wrestling in the state of Iowa. I mean, I don't think people understand like how the dynamics works in the state.
Yeah, it's if you're not a wrestling family or part of that life, like. Somebody that is. Like, that's how small and kind of tight-knit it is, and just throughout the whole state. But, I didn't really realize it either until I went and I coached up in North Dakota State for a year, and then I went and coached in Virginia Tech for 2 years. Like, just the following in the sport is second to none compared to anywhere else. I'm sure you like maybe Pennsylvania and Ohio, you get that same kind of feeling a little bit, but like, I've been a lot of places, and they don't even compare in terms of just general wrestling knowledge about the sport, and then just like the following too. So
so you guys had Waverly back in high school. Was there a local rival at the time that was City High was a pretty good rival for y'all?
They were. They were competitive. They were probably top 4 or 5 in the state at that time too. Maybe even a little bit better. But
so you guys the West High City High duels had to be pretty legit.
Brad Smith was the head coach. I think pretty much the whole time I was going through high school, Brad was the head coach at City High, and I wrestled Coleman, his son, a lot actually. So we scrapped. But yeah, they had definitely my freshman year, maybe my sophomore year too. They had really good team also. If I remember that right.
Those West High City High dual meets had to be pretty.
They were awesome.
Pretty wild.
They sold out. Like, it didn't even matter if City High was good or we were good or not. The gym was always filled for that rivalry. So it's just a West High City High duel. So that was kind of any sport really. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
But
to have that in high school,
Yeah, but wrestling on top of that all. I mean, it's it's a wrestling hotbed here, and that had to be. Yeah, there had to be some really fun crowds to wrestle in. I bet there.
Yeah, I don't know what the West High gym, but I guess 2,000 people ish. Somewhere in there for a high school duel. That's quite a bit.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. So when you got done with your high school career? Was there any other school, any other college that came in the fold? Or is it yours? Just you just need to go to Iowa?
I feel like I didn't really get recruited all that hard. From what I remember, God, my memory's bad, but I got recruited by like Nebraska, Iowa State, Iowa. Cliff Moore called me, Edinburgh, and like UNI. Wow. Those are the only places that called me.
Really?
In which I was top couple, I think, in my weight class coming out of high school. But I think everybody just assumed.
Fargo champ, I remember.
Yeah. And I think everybody just assumed I was going to Iowa. It probably didn't help that Mark was my coach.
Yeah.
And Iowa ties and all that. And I already had several teammates committed there. So I think everybody just assumed. But it was really down to, at that time, I was going to go Iowa State or Iowa for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I was going to stay in the state. And then, obviously Cale was here at that time. Basically, my dad really wanted me here. Yeah. And I gave him, I don't know. I think I'm going to go with my buddies over here.
So, he wanted you here at Iowa State?
Yes.
Really?
My dad wanted me here. He basically begged and pleaded, just give him a chance. So I still owe Coach Sanderson probably a visit that I committed to that I didn't show up for. So
really?
Oh yeah. So.
Wow. So when you got to Iowa, what was the switch like there, moving from the high school to the Iowa room?
Man,
was there a learning curve for you?
Oh, was there a learning curve? I went right into the meat grinder.
Yeah.
Man, they were just rolling off, I think, their third national title at that time. So they were hot. They were, they had a deep room. You Metcalf, you had Borchell, you had Montel Marion, Joey Slade, and Morningstar. You could go on and on. Phil Ketty. That room was stacked.
Yeah.
And so that's what I walked into as a true freshman. And the majority of those guys were seniors that year. So, they had about most of them 4 or 5 years on me, and boy, I took some freaking whoopings just on the scoreboard. My big thing was, what, they can light me up, but I ain't gonna lay there for them. And I'm gonna fight back like a son of a bitch. So a lot of them ended up in fights, and I get scolded and kicked out for a period of time, and then they let me come back in. But I just didn't know how else to handle it. I hated getting my ass kicked, but I wasn't good enough to beat a lot of these guys. Fuck it, I'm gonna fight. It's I can at least do that. So I don't know, but yeah, I took some whooping, especially I feel like for the first 3-4 months. But once we kind of got back into the spring time, a lot of it started to turn kind of a little bit more in my favor, where I could actually start scoring in the room and having a little bit more success actually. So yeah.
Who is the big who is your main, I guess, when you first got there, who are you consistently working out with?
Man, I got thrown to the wolves. I feel like I competed with everybody from basically 133 to 184.
Oh, wow. Oh, so all those guys you mentioned, you were wrestling all those guys.
I was wrestling all of them. I'd wrestle Joey Slayton one day, and the next day I'd be over scrapping with Phil Ketty.
Oh, wow.
That big of a range. I was probably 165, 170 pounds at that time. I wasn't quite a full-blown, probably 57 quite yet, but big enough to, especially when some of them bigger guys, like Ketty and those guys are Borchell, probably getting down to weight, but I don't feel like I necessarily wrestled them a lot, but yeah, I remember a handful of times where it's St. John, we're scrapping with Borchell today, and I'd be stuck on my belly for a half hour.
God, how good was he on top?
It's
Is
wrestling
he
him.
best top wrestler you ever
I
wrestled?
would say out of the Iowa wrestling room.
Yeah.
Who else was really good on top was Mike Evans, but that's a totally different style, like legging and stuff.
Yeah.
Him early on, especially, he was really good on top. But I feel like I picked a lot of stuff up from Jay.
Really?
And him kicking my ass and just being stuck on my belly for an extended period of time. But yeah.
Yeah, because he was so good at like I said, keeping guys on their belly. It seemed to me, this is from obviously I never wrestled, but just outsiders say he's good at keeping you on your belly and just kind of tying your legs up with just pinching his legs and just kind of keep it. It's just it was really
Pinching,
weird.
just kind of floating or snagging ankles, and then like that tight waist, and just keeping the guy's hands out in front of you, where you just make it hard as shit for them to build up off their base, right?
Yeah.
Even though maybe you're not going to turn them or get a turn, but not a lot of the best guys do turn when you start getting further into tournaments and stuff. But just making everything really, really difficult. Weighing on their minds a little bit, taking the starch out of them, getting them tired a little bit. That really helps.
It seemed to me like you took a lot of that from him, because I remember you being a real stingy rider.
Yeah, I mean, I was really good. I feel like pretty solid rider coming out of high school, and then just like tight waist type stuff. And then, I definitely picked up a few things from him. Not necessarily that he like grabbed me and helped me necessarily, but just like, shit, that kept working. Like all of a sudden he had my wrist behind my back, it was floating and like the head lever type stuff, and just kind of baiting you into doing certain things or whatnot. But yeah.
Yeah, I mean, wow. I mean, like I didn't realize you were wrestling all those guys from that weight class up. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah,
and it's crazy just the different in feel. You go from a 33, 41 pounder, and then all of a sudden you're wrestling a 74, 84.
Yeah.
Two totally different things. It's
Yeah.
kind of wild. Which was probably really good for me when I was young, and just my growth too. Because the more feels you can have, I feel like the better off you're going to be. But
yeah, for sure. Who's the best college wrestler that you had your hands on the little 5 years, so to speak?
Just at Iowa?
No,
or
just in general.
In general, man, I wrestled some pretty damn good guys. I wrestled Taylor, Dake. I don't know. Dake was, I don't know, just you couldn't touch the dude's freaking legs, and about impossible to score on is about how it felt. But I mean, probably between those two guys, I always thought, like, damn, if I'm going to beat Dake, like, after wrestling him in the finals that one year, I wish I would have got to feel him earlier on, but it's like, I'm gonna have to figure something, like, change something, like, significant. Like, how in the hell am I going to get to this guy's legs? And then once you get there, how in the hell am I going to finish that? Like, doing the splits and so gumby, and his hips were so damn heavy, but... Yeah, two totally different feels, too. One guy was an offensive juggernaut, and then the other guy felt like he was impossible to score on.
Yeah.
Those are probably the two overall best guys that I touched. I wrestled a lot of really good guys throughout my career, I felt like. I mean, I wrestled the Derringers, I wrestled the Imar, those guys were young when I wrestled them, but James Green.
Yeah. God, man, you were wrestling all those guys.
I wrestled quite a few good guys.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. Those guys, some of those guys, I mean, like Dake is still going right now, and Green's
that's
still going.
Unbelievable to me. My hat's off to those guys.
Yeah.
Like him. Like, I don't know how the hell he's still doing it. I mean, they must have trained him way different over at Cornell or something. Or I don't know what you test that to, but it's pretty impressive.
Yeah. He's
probably 36 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 35, but like, shit. I can't imagine still competing right now. I can't.
And James Green coming back out. That's crazy.
Yeah, he's probably a little bit younger. He's probably, 33-ish. But still, like,
yeah.
I guess there are guys that have done it. I mean, I think Bill Zadek probably won a world title when he was right in that ballpark.
Yeah.
32, 33. But there ain't many guys that go on to do that. But some foreigners. But I don't know.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, but then your senior year, you got it done, though. You beat Walsh in the finals.
Yeah, my junior year, I beat Jason Welch in the finals.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And he was tough.
Yeah,
he was.
And we wrestled a ton too. We probably wrestled.
That's what you guys.
I think we wrestled, and I might be a little off here, but I want to say like 7 or 8 times.
Yeah.
Throughout our college careers.
Yeah.
I think he might be a year older, but like, man, we wrestled a ton.
Yeah.
Freestyle stuff leading up to it too, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think people forget about like how good a wrestler that dude was.
Yeah,
that dude was like ahead of his game from a scrambles perspective.
When I was in high school, like, he was it. Like, he was the shit. Like, California kid. I think, did he win 4 state titles in California?
I think so.
I remember him because they had the dream team at West High, the duel.
Yeah.
It'd been my junior year. So that senior class, the Iowa class, was really, really good, really deep. And they got the dream team deal at West High, and he was like the best overall recruit. I do remember that. Like, he was a phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah. He's doing a good job at San Francisco State.
I don't. I guess I don't see a lot of those results just because that's its own league, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard he's doing really well out there.
Yeah. I'd run into
California's a great place to be and snag a lot of them kids. So
absolutely. Yeah. No, when I was at Cal Poly, we'd go up and wrestle in this tournament. A couple times. I think they had a couple of them every year, and so I'd talk to him every day. He's a real nice guy. He's a good guy. So, but you started your coaching career out at North Dakota State. I totally forgot about that when I was looking things up. Yeah,
right out of school.
So when you stopped at Iowa, when you graduated from Iowa, you just said, okay, you know what, I'm not going to pursue freestyle career. I'm just going to go right into coaching. Or
no, there was a little bit of crossover. So I honestly, out of the gate, I wanted nothing to do with coaching.
Really?
I didn't want anything to do with coaching. And then Tom convinced me to take this job at North Dakota State for a year. He's like, because I really wanted to stay and train. Like I wanted to do the quad.
Yeah.
And so he's like, no, why don't you go make some money, go up North Dakota State for a year, try it, see how it goes. And so I did that, and then I also came back periodically and trained a little bit throughout the year, which was like once or twice.
Right.
And then I actually, once the season was over that year, I think I was 2014 going into 15, or vice versa, or whatever. And after season was over, I came back to Iowa City and I trained for, what is that, like the 2.5 weeks leading up to the U.S. Open, competed at the U.S. Open, and then did the trials also while still working at North Dakota State. And then, I ended up being at Virginia Tech after that, but yeah.
Yeah. Thank goodness that Tom told you to coach, because now, I mean, like I said, you get killed. You crushed it at every place you've been. I mean, that's the one thing I've always. I mean, North Dakota State, and then of course, at Virginia Tech. I mean, Dresser was just saying how great of a coach you were, and then obviously, coming here to Iowa State. I mean, thank goodness that Tom talked you into being a coach.
Yeah, luckily it was one of the things that worked out. But it's funny because I went into it with an open mind. I was like, all right, I'm going to do this, and I'm the type of guy, I'm all or nothing.
Yeah.
Like I'm all in or I'm all out. So I was like, I'm gonna crush this. Regardless, we'll see what happens. And luckily, Kish was great to work for.
Yeah.
He gave me a ton of flexibility. Gave me here's 4 guys. Do your thing with them.
Wow.
Is basically how it felt. And I ended up helping. We had 2 All-Americans that year at North Dakota State. Kurt Juleson at 84, and then 74, and then Hayden Zomer.
That's right.
At 84. So I got to spend quite a bit of time with those guys throughout that year, and I was like, after having those kind of results, I was like, you know what, I might be able to do this.
Yeah.
I could see myself doing this.
Yeah.
And it helps when you have a little bit of success,
right.
but yeah.
Boy, Zilmer's he's still wrestling.
I don't know how he's still doing it either, because the way he wrestled too, that dude is like grinding, tough SOB. But there's not a hard. I don't know. I thought I worked pretty damn hard, and I did. But that dude, his work ethic and just the mentality behind how he trains, that guy, he trains like a madman.
Really?
The little bit I was around him at North Dakota State. Yeah. You asked him to run through a brick wall, I think he might.
Yeah.
But, he loves the sport, and he trained like an animal.
Wow.
Yeah.
And like I said, he's still going.
Still going. Probably he's right up in that ballpark.
He's right there.
32, 33 years old. I'm like, how in the
he's
hell
still in the
guys?
mix.
Yeah.
Still in the mix.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So then you made the switch over to Virginia Tech, and so you've been basically with Dresser for quite a while. Then I mean, you've
been with Dresser for, I think this would be like 12 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. Time flies.
Yeah. What's that been like? What's that been like being around Dresser?
I've learned so much from that guy, just in terms of how to organize a program, how to fundraise, how to just have a different perspective on the sport, how to treat people and treat your athletes, and build the correct relationships. So it's just I can't thank that guy enough either. Those between him and Mark Ryland, and from my high school experiences and that coaching experience, I can't thank those 2 guys enough.
Yeah.
really helped mold me and help me get to where I am in my coaching career, especially dresser. So
Yeah. So when you got, because you were there when, like I said, Virginia Tech, you guys started really putting things together.
yeah, I lucked out, and that's kind of what, at the end of the day, I went there with Mike Zadek at the time, and came over together, and we walked into a pretty damn good team. And I felt like they were just missing maybe a little bit of like just gritty, a little bit of hard nose to them a little bit, if that makes sense. And because those kids could wrestle.
Yeah.
Like I remember on my visit there or whatever, and I remember sitting on the wall, and I was like, damn, like we could do something with this.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be here in a month. Like, but we ended up getting fourth that year, my first year there, and then I think we got sixth the next year. Just kind of some things kind of fell awkward. Otherwise, we would have probably got two team trophies back to back. But got one my first year there.
Wow.
I think we were first ACC team to ever win a team trophy at the Nationals, I think.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on that, but I think we were.
Wow. Yeah, no, I mean, you guys had some freaking stellar teams over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had some studs. I mean, we had the Joey Dances, the Ty Wolves, Shisco, Epperly, Bruschetta. Like, we had some pretty good guys. I think we had 6 All-Americans that year.
Yeah,
so.
Bruschetta, he's a good dude. I love that dude.
Nick,
He's like one of my favorite dudes in wrestling, man. Every time I see that dude, he's doing a great job.
Doing
in
a
Maryland.
great job in Maryland, yeah. He's into it. I mean, he knows high-level wrestling, so.
Heck yeah, he does.
Comes from a pretty touted program, too, so that probably helps a lot, but,
Absolutely.
He had some good success.
Yeah, so when you all made the switch over here to Iowa State side, how wild was that?
Honestly, just kind of, I loved it, but just kind of how it went down was kind of weird. Like just the timing of it all, because Dresser left in like middle of February. Like we're getting ready we're kind of towards the tail end of, I think we were done with the duels for that season. And then like we just had ACCs and nationals left. And then all of a sudden, like, Dresser comes in and announces that he's taking this Iowa State job. I'm like, what the hell happened? Like, where have I been? Like, nobody saw it coming. Like, I remember that, and there was like 3 ADs, and they had a cop come in, and basically he got to talk to the team one last time, and they escorted him, and I didn't talk to Dresser until after the Nationals that year. So I really didn't. Yeah. I was like, well, shit, that's kind of crazy. And so then Roby took over the head job, and then we kind of all shifted up. I was the volunteer, so I got moved into an actual assistant position, and Mike obviously bumped up at that time too. But and then we just kind of were, I don't know, I wouldn't say winging it, but like, it felt like winging it. Like going into the ACs and national, we still won ACCs, and then we had a pretty solid national tournament, but probably had some things that didn't quite go our way. But it was just a whirlwind and craziness. And then obviously Dresser called me pretty much the day the nationals was over and asked me if I'd come with him. I was like, absolutely. I'll go back to the state of Iowa and wrestle in front of 7,000, 8,000, 10,000 people on any given weekend versus not to bash Virginia wrestling or Virginia Tech. Like, I think we set the attendance record at like 4,500 back then when we wrestled Penn State that year, that fall. So Roby,
he's doing a good job there. They tell you.
Yes, they're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, obviously
Roby's
that
awesome.
recruiting class they just had, like,
it's not terrible, is it?
They might have a little star-studded
not terrible
team there.
Yeah,
So
no,
we'll
I love Tony Roby too. He's the best, man. I love that dude. Yeah, he's a good dude. So and then he's like I said, I've been telling him I need to get out to a Tech match, and I think they've really started to pack the stands out.
Yeah, things growing slowly but surely. I think they've obviously, when you start having a lot more success, and they've had some really good teams since we left. So had some national champs. So that helps a lot. Puts butts in the seats.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We'll wrap it up with this. You guys got things like we talked earlier. You guys got things rolling here. I remember when I came here the first time, and you guys wrestled you and I. And man, the atmosphere there was awesome. I mean, you guys really have things going in a great direction here.
Yeah.
I mean,
we're just continuing to try to grow that. Sell more season tickets, and we might tweak our atmosphere a little bit this year, and hopefully make it a little more inclusive. But obviously, our fan base is second to none.
mm-hmm.
I think we're usually 2, 3, 4 in overall attendance. So, a lot of that just is the wrestling history here, and people appreciate and love wrestling here at Iowa State and in the community, really. So, just looking to continue to build on what we've already done. But, yeah, I mean, Iowa State's a great place to be if you're in tune with wrestling or you love the sport of wrestling, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like I said, you guys, all eyes on the sport. I mean, all eyes on this team. I was sitting down with Chael Sonnen just the other night, and he's I've asked him. I said, "You been to Ames? Have you met Dresser?" He goes, "I haven't." I said, "Well, we gotta go next year.
Come over.
We gotta go. We gotta go and watch a match." They got good things going.
He's been he's stopped in the Iowa wrestling room quite a bit.
He stopped one time.
Yeah,
he stopped one time.
Yeah. Well, we wrestled him over there this year.
Had Caleb Young gut wrench him. Tried to gut wrench him.
That's right. I think I did see that clip.
Yeah.
But yeah, he needs to get his butt over here.
Yeah, I told him that. I said, we got to go to the Iowa State match.
I know a guy that has some tickets.
Yeah, I think so.
You never know.
Yeah, maybe.
Get some good buzz going on over here.
Love it. I love it. One last thing. I want because obviously we both have a real, well, especially you have a different relationship, but everybody feels like they have a special relationship. Mark Ryland. There's got to be one really funny Mark Ryland story back in high school, maybe that really etched in your mind about him maybe like chewing your butt in the corner or just something just stupid about it, whatever.
He had this thing where he always wore his state championship ring, especially to practice.
Oh, did he really?
And if you said something stupid or what he thought was stupid or you're acting stupid, like he'd walk by it and he'd take that ring and he'd put it on his middle finger and he'd just right on top of your head. You'd go, oh God. And he'd sneak up on you and you'd do it too. I can't, oh my God. We had some knuckleheads on our team, and a couple of times I remember I was like, damn, he might have just punched it. But no, that was like his MO. He would just walk past you and you're acting like a fool or whatever. But oh dude, that's one of the funnier ones that I can remember. But I'm so bad at picking stuff off the riff, but I can't tell you how many times Nate Moore and Dylan Crew had right on top of the dome.
Oh yeah, no, but we both, like I said, we both obviously have a real special relationship with Ryland, and man, he's a man, and I miss him a ton. But it's got to be really like some funny stuff. I've got to be a funny Mark Ryland story back in the day, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ones, but I think one that's pretty vivid in my mind is kind of actually happened early on in my high school career. I think I was freshman or sophomore year. Is back when we used to wrestle the state tournament before the state duels.
Oh,
the state duel tournament. So what you do is you go state, you wrestle the state tournament, and then basically the next Friday, Saturday, you wrestled the state duels, and you got a 5-pound allowance, right? So we would get together that next Monday or Tuesday or whatever, and everybody gets a 5-pound allowance. So everybody's fat and happy. Yeah. Everybody's just kind of screwing off because the train is kind of done, right? Yeah. Well, Mark wanted to get a little bit of something done like that day, and I can't remember, for whatever reason, we always let some of the smaller towns bring their teams over at that time, and we had West Branch was in there. I feel like they had a couple guys, and Louisa Muscatine had a couple guys in there, and obviously the coaches are there, and so we're kind of hanging out. We're waiting for them to show up because of the school timing in them to drive into town or whatever, and we were messing around, and Mark was talking crap and doing his thing where he's hit the old ring on top of the head because guys are screwing off or whatever, and I don't remember how exactly it went down, but basically I tackled Mark from behind. We got him down, he hit his knees or whatever, and then once I got him down to basically on his knees, 3 other guys jumped in, and we got the jump rope, and we hog-tied him. We had both of his hands behind his back, tied his wrists together, and then we got his feet bent. It took like 6 of us to do it, but like we got his feet up back by his hands. You know, Marky is a little bit bigger those days. So it was a son of a bitch. We got his feet bent up, and we tied his feet to his hands, so he's literally like hog-tied. You know, and we left him there. Like, we left him there probably for like 10 minutes, and he was pissed. I'm pissed. And none of the other coaches, like, jumped in. They were all just laughing their asses off. And about that time, about 10, 12 minutes, whatever, passes, and we just kind of left him there. And then the other teams, those teams started trickling in, and the coaches walk in, they're like, you know, because, you know, Mark, like, everybody, the seriousness, and, like, it's like Mashig, and I can't remember who the Westbridge coach was. They're like, holy shit, what's going on in here? Like, everybody's dying laughing. But I can't remember who untied him. One of the other assistant coaches untied him, and then he just came for all of us. He freaking chased us around the room, and I remember he locked like 4 of us out of the room that day and didn't let us back in for practice.
Really?
Nope. I just remember sitting there because my brother was in there. I was just sitting out on the bleachers, just like thinking he was going to come back out. You know, eventually just have to take the nuts on the top of the head and take your medicine and go back to practice. But nope, he blocked us out. Didn't talk to many of us for like 2 days, and then yeah, we hog-tied him, and that was a good laugh. It was one of probably my favorite memories.
Oh my goodness, hog-tied Mark Ryland.
Yep.
There you go, Tony Black. Tony Black can hit me real tight. He was in wrestling. There's a story right there. Yeah. There it is, right there. There it is, Tony.
In that era.
That's awesome. The chance to we thanked Alli a little bit. She's hustling and moving and shaking and everything, so she took off from the interview. So, but man, Derek, thanks so much, man. Like I said, you guys are crushing it here, man. It's actually, you know, like I said, I've known you for years, and just, you know, we just talking just in passing and stuff like that. But it's been so good to sit down and really, really, really get a chance to chat some wrestling with you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having us, my wife and I, and we'll have to get you back here in a little while for some duels and stuff. So
love to.
We appreciate you making the journey up here for sure.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you, brother.
You bet.